animal. She'll be so happy. Thank you. Bye.
Naomi, you're not going to believe this.
What? Oh, you're going to love me.
Why?
Am I doing better publicity work than anyone this station has ever seen, or what?
Will you just tell me?
Listen up, everybody. Linda Ellerby dropped out of this Tuesday's Women in Broadcasting Convention, and they've asked Naomi to take her place on the program.
Naomi, isn't that nice? They asked for me?
Well, actually, no. But that's only because they've never ever even heard of you. But I kept pestering them, and after a couple of people turned them down, they called me right back, and they said, sure, what the heck, why not?
Isn't that nice?
And best of all, they're paying all of your expenses, and it's in San Francisco.
Isn't that nice?
San Francisco. Ah, the memories. Yeah, I was stationed there when I was in the Navy. I remember this little street mime on Fisherman's Wharf. Nasty little fellow. I threw him into the bay.
Yeah, I bet that shut him up.
Oh, Harrison, wait up. Listen, I just read this piece you want to deliver on a show, and I just don't know.
This station broadcast a documentary on the darker side of fur trapping. In the spirit of even-handedness, I think it only appropriate that we broadcast a rebuttal.
Still, I think taking a pro-fur stand seems a little risky.
Since when has our mission been to take the safer course? Besides, if God hadn't wanted man to wear furs, he wouldn't have made them so darned attractive.
But, Harrison, when you think of them killing those poor little animals, it's...
Nice shoes you're wearing. Are they plastic?
Heck no. I'm a producer now, after all. Genuine leather all the way. Wait. Leather's different. At least the animal isn't tortured.
No, I suppose you're right. I know when my time comes, I'd like to be bludgeoned on the forehead.
Good morning, Leanne.
Good morning. Hey, Dad.
Maudie, what brings you here?
Okay, I know it's our weekend together, but can I have a friend stay over tonight?
Sure, why not?
Great. See ya.
What's her name?
Oh, you're gonna love her. She's so cool. Bye.
Maud. What's her name?
Her name?
Her name.
Heather. Bye.
Heather? What about Heather?
She's staying over at my house tonight with Maud.
She is not. We don't like Heather.
Oh, we don't? Why don't we?
Her father is in the Foreign Service.
Ah, that pack of thugs.
She is very sophisticated, if you get my drift. She stayed over at my house once. I smelled cigarette smoke. There was some cognac missing. Plus, she's a 16-year-old girl who goes out with men.
Men?
College sophomores who shave and vote and expect things from girls. I don't want my daughter hanging out with her.
Leanne, I'm going to be with them the whole time. If any shaving or voting starts, I'll put a stop to it.
Ted, Heather is on the pill.
I already said it was okay. I can't disinvite her now. It's just one weekend.
I'm not going to say I told you so, but you will regret this.
Naomi, here's all the literature you'll need for the convention.
I haven't agreed to go to San Francisco yet.
You going to San Francisco? Great town, but I had this really weird experience there. I'm performing on Fisherman's Wharf, and this big sailor throws me into the bay. Driving me nuts.
Brahms' lullaby often has that effect.
What do you say we both use headphones?
I hate those things. They mess up my hair.
Dad, this is Heather.
Oh, hey, you must be Heather. Oh, hi.
This is your father, huh? You're so young.
Well, fluorescent light is very kind to me.
I mean, my father seems old enough to be your father. Sorry we're a little late. Had to meet Heather in the student union. Yeah, I went there to break up with this guy, Kenny. Do you believe anybody would break up with a college sophomore?
I did once. Of course, I was a senior.
Hi. Haven't seen you around here before. I'm Jay Edgar, producer of Toe to Toe.
Heather. Wow. Is everybody important around here so young?
No, and everyone young around here isn't so important. Listen, we got a whole bunch of free passes left over from the fund drive to give away. Does anybody want to go see Rashomon tonight?
I'd love to see it again. It's got subtitles. Is that okay?
Actually, I don't need subtitles. I lived in Japan for 2 years.
Really? Ohio gozaimasu.
Ah, Nihongo o. O hanashi ne naron desu ne. Ah, ureshi wa.
Right.
Hi, Leanne. May I call you Leanne?
No.
We're gonna go see Rashomon. How about some sushi afterwards? Raw fish? No way. I don't even like it cooked. Try it. I bet you like it.
Now she's gonna have Maude eating sushi.
Oh, yeah, you're right. We better watch out for that. It's well documented that sushi is just the first step on the road to serious fish abuse. Oh, lighten up, Leanne. Can I call you Leanne? She seems like a terrific kid. She's smart. She's personable.
She pulled that "you look younger than my parents" line on you, didn't she?
Come on, Leanne. Give me a little credit.
Gretchen, you'll just have to call the convention committee and tell them to find someone else. I can't go to San Francisco.
Why?
Well, I'm just too busy. I have the subscribers club.
I can handle that.
And we have a board meeting that night.
Ted can fill
Well,
in.
who's going to water my plant?
You don't want to go, do you? Oh, Naomi, you're afraid of public speaking. Oh, you don't have to be embarrassed about that. You know, I used to have that same problem.
Gretchen, I'm not afraid of speaking in San Francisco. I'm afraid of flying to San Francisco, or more accurately, falling on San Francisco.
You're not going to believe this, Naomi, but I had that problem, too.
Well, you were just a mess, weren't you?
Well, it's not like it was an irrational fear. I was on a flight one time when all of a sudden a plane dropped 5,000 feet.
Oh, my God.
I got over it.
How?
2 years intense therapy. I didn't set foot on a plane again until I was 8.
Wasn't Rashomon awesome? I mean, what a great idea, showing the same story from 4 different points of view. I hate to break this to you, but they already did that 3 years ago on Alf.
Well, where do you think they got the idea?
I thought they stole it from Night Court. I think you need to broaden your horizons just a little, Maude.
Ah, Heather's right. I mean, you never tried sushi before. See? Didn't kill you?
The evening's young. Do you know what I ate when I lived in Japan? Fugu. It's a poisonous blowfish.
Yeah, if they don't prepare that right, it really can kill you.
And you ate that? Yeah. It's one of the things that I love about Japan. To know how to live on the edge.
Yeah, me, I'd like to live in a condo about 2 blocks from the edge.
Neat, an espresso machine.
Hey, how about some cappuccino?
I'd love some. I used to drink cappuccino with my boyfriend, Kenny. Kenny, I miss him already. Oh, right. She just dumped a college sophomore, and she expects us to believe she's depressed. I'm gonna get ready for bed. Night, Dad. I'll be in soon, okay? Okay. You know, Ted, I mean, Mr. Costas.
Sounds fine.
Ted, I really feel like you're someone that I can open up to. Is that okay?
I guess so.
I've been carrying around these really strong feelings all night. And I haven't been able to tell anyone, especially Maude.
Feelings about what, Heather?
I didn't break up with Kenny. Kenny broke up with me.
Oh, I am sorry. Boy, that is rough. Really tough. Want a cookie?
He had invited me to his formal next week and everything. I'd already bought a dress and...
Oh, yeah, I know the feeling. It's like eating bad fugu. Look, Heather, you're smart, you're good-looking, you're sophisticated. Sort of the perfect woman. If you were a woman.
Just really hurts.
Well, listen, someday when Kenny's more mature, he'll realize what he's missed.
Maud is so lucky to have a dad she can talk to like a friend.
Well, Maud knows she can tell me anything.
That is so cool. I mean, I could never confide in my father. Like, if I told him that I was sleeping with Kenny, he would freak.
Oh, that's pretty tricky. I mean, it's pretty hard for a father to be told that his daughter is no longer,
Oh, come on. I bet you were great when Maud told you.
To a hypnotist Saturday. And he says, "What's your problem?" And I say, "I'm afraid to fly." So he turns down the lights and puts on a tape and puts me under. And, well, 20 minutes later, I wake up feeling relaxed and revitalized with absolutely no desire to smoke.
Smoke? You don't smoke.
Oh, no, never did. The idiot must have put on the wrong tape.
Well, how do you know?
I'm still afraid to fly. And out on the sidewalk, I caught myself yanking a cigarette out of some poor guy's mouth and screaming, "Give me a break! I just quit!"
How was your weekend?
mind-blowing.
Was I right about Heather?
Leanne, I gotta talk to you about what she said.
Wouldn't you rather hear the bombshell she dropped about you?
What about me?
She told Maud that you came on to her.
What? I came on? This is Ted Costas, and you've been listening to Long Day's Journey into Lunch. So now go out and have a nice one, and a nice rest of the day.
You can't believe she's 16 years old? Come on, you can't possibly believe it.
Of course I don't believe it. Maud doesn't either. You were probably just your usual charming self, and little Vamp took it the wrong way.
Geez, you try to be nice to somebody.
I know, I promised that I wouldn't say I told you so, and I won't. What I will say is...
I gotta hand it to you guys. I bet there's not a lot of divorced couples who can crack each other up like that.
And what about those unfortunate people who have already bought furs? Do we expect them to take their coats and stoles into the woods and set them free?
Hold on a minute. I want to talk to you about Maud.
Oh.
In case it isn't readily apparent, I'm in here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see you. Get out.
I was just about to start recording.
We have something very private and very important to discuss here.
Well, you could ask me nicely.
Get the hell out. Please.
See? Was that so hard?
Look, Leanne.
Hey, where's Harrison going? I was about to record him.
Jay, why are you wearing canvas tennis shoes with your suit?
Well,
And why are your pants held up by a rope?
I've decided to stop wearing animal products.
Isn't your suit made out of wool?
Great!
Leanne, Heather dropped a bombshell on me, too. She said that Maud was no longer a virgin.
Oh, come on.
Look, wouldn't you rather believe Heather and be wrong than not believe Heather and be wrong? We've got to talk to her.
I know it's not true. Mothers have a radar about that.
Well, she could have dropped off your screen one Saturday night.
Mom, Dad, good, you're both here. Dad, remember Kenny, the guy that Heather dumped? He asked me out to a formal. Can you believe it? A college sophomore.
A college sophomore, Maud.
Yep. I feel so sophisticated. Almost sophomoric.
Listen, honey.
Oh, Mom, you and Jonathan have that banquet tonight? So can I study over at Dad's?
Sure.
Sure.
Great. College sophomore to his formal.
Ted, we've got to talk to her.
Say, that's a good idea.
All this stuff that she's got to know about love and tenderness and the martial arts.
Sounds good. How about tonight?
I can't do it tonight. I've got that big deal with Jonathan. It'll have to be tomorrow. What time do you get up?
Radio newsreels from WGEO Archives.
During a lull in the fighting in the Pacific, this group of crack Japanese suicide pilots has decided to take a sort of kamikaze busman's holiday. An excursion flight smack into the side of majestic Mount Fuji. Let's join them inside.
This is your pilot speaking. We're on our final approach into Mount Fuji. So I've turned off the seatbelt signs. Feel free to smoke and walk about the cabin and put your carry-on luggage wherever you damn well please. Bing! We hope that you enjoy today's flight and that you consider Banzai Airlines in your future travel plans. Oops, sorry.
And that's the way it was. April 16th, 1943. And this time, aren't you glad that you weren't there?
Hello?
Hi, Gretchen. It's Naomi.
Hi.
I've landed safely in San Francisco.
How was the trip?
The worst experience of my life.
Was it bumpy?
No, smooth as glass. It could have been very nice. I had some wine, a fairly decent dinner, and the movie was Driving Miss Daisy.
Well, what was the problem?
You booked me into non-smoking. Hey, buddy, you got a light?
Hey, Monty.
Hey, Dad. Boy, am I glad I could pull this off.
Pull what off?
All the way home, Mom was on my case about seeing Heather. And I have this mega French test tomorrow, and I need her to help me study. So she's coming over.
Maud, you're making me an accomplice in your little schemes. And frankly, some stuff went down with Heather that makes me uncomfortable about having her over here.
Dad, I didn't believe a word about you coming on to her.
It's not that. It's something else.
What?
I promised your mother that we'd talk to you together.
Together? Oh, my gosh, what is it?
Okay, I'll tell it you. Right after Heather leaves.
Mom,
Yes.
what are you doing here?
I was afraid you'd get into that discussion tonight, and I didn't want to make you do it alone.
What discussion?
Maud? Honey?
The other night, Heather told your father something troubling.
Basically, she said that... Well, if you were a bar of ivory soap, you wouldn't float.
Ted, even I don't know what you're talking about, and I know what you're talking about.
Perhaps you'd like to explain it a little more clearly.
Heather said that you were, active.
Active.
Physically active.
Huh?
Sexually active.
And you believed her?
Well,
I didn't believe what Heather said about you, and you believe the stuff she says about me?
we have to treat it like it's the truth because we're responsible for you. And frankly, Maud, you are at the age when some girls...
Stop floating.
Heather?
Hi, Ted. Hi, Maude.
What is she doing here, Maud?
She was gonna help me study for my big test tomorrow. Heather's really good at French.
Why doesn't that surprise me?
Why? You have to put her down when she came over to help me. She's smart. She's a good friend.
And she's just in time.
Come on, Dad. In time for what?
Well, we're having a little discussion about lies. Let's start with one of yours.
Mine?
Yes, yours, about Maud having sex.
Well, that wasn't a lie.
It certainly was.
Dad, it wasn't.
It wasn't?
Well, not quite.
Define quite.
I mean, I kind of let Heather assume that I did it. You mean you didn't? No. Well, why didn't you tell me the truth? I didn't want you to think I was backwards or something. Well, some friend. And what else have you lied to me about? Nothing. It's just I figured you wouldn't think I was mature. Well, you're obviously not. Lying to me is really mature.
Yeah, well, now that we've got that lie out of the way, let's move on to another one. About me coming on to you.
Well, that wasn't a lie either.
Oh, come on, Heather.
He said that I was the perfect woman.
You said that?
And that it will take a more mature man than Kenny to appreciate me.
I'm just trying to build up her self-esteem.
Since when is it your job to build up her self-esteem?
The girl was coming apart. Her boyfriend just dumped her.
Kenny broke up with you? You lied to me. It's embarrassing to get dumped. It's embarrassing to be a virgin.
Not at 15. Or 16.
Or 25, if that's the way you want it.
Talk about not telling the truth. I thought we were best friends. Maybe I should have said yes when Kenny asked me to the formal. Kenny asked you to his formal?
You said no?
Yes, he asked me, and yes, I said no. I thought about it, and I don't want to deal with the kind of pressures of what he'd expect. Well, he went out with you, for crying out loud. Well, life really sucks. First, Kenny dumps me. Now Ted hates me. Maud hates me. You always hated me.
That's not true. Ted and Maud don't hate you.
On television, I play an insensitive, unscrupulous sleazeball shoe salesman, so it's no wonder they asked me to host Saturday Night Live with Harry Connick Jr.
And Sunday night, NBC presents a special encore presentation of the award-winning A Mother's Courage, the Mary Thomas story, starring Alfre Woodard, Sunday night